Minneapolis is the most populous city in the U.S. state of Minnesota and the seat of Hennepin County. With an estimated population of 429,606 as of 2019. It is the 46th most populous city in the U.S. 7 counties encompassing Minneapolis and its neighbor St. Paul are known as the Twin Cities. In 2019, those counties are among 16 making up the Minneapolis-St. Paul-Bloomington, Minnesota metropolitan area of 3.6 million, and 22 making up the combined statistical area of 4.0 million. Minneapolis lies on both banks of the Mississippi River, just north of the river's confluence with the Minnesota River, and adjoins St. Paul, the state's capital, with one of the nation's best park systems. The city is abundantly rich in water, with 13 lakes, wetlands, the Mississippi River, creeks and waterfalls, many connected by parkways in the Grand Rounds National Scenic Byway. The city and surrounding region is the largest population and primary business center between Chicago and Seattle. Minneapolis was historically a marketplace for timber, became the flour milling capital of the world, and, to the present day, preserved its financial clout, anchoring strong music and performing arts scenes. Minneapolis is home to both the Guthrie Theater and the First Avenue nightclub, reflecting the region's status as a center of folk, funk, and alternative rock music. The city was the launching pad for several of the 20th century's most influential musicians, including Bob Dylan and Prince. Hip-hop and rap scenes produced artists Lizzo, Brother Ali, Atmosphere, and Desa. The Dakota Sioux were the region's sole residents prior to European contact. The city's Dakota name is Badota Othuwa. French explorers arrived in the region in 1680. Gradually, more European American settlers arrived, competing for game and other resources with the Native Americans. By the Treaty of Paris following the Revolutionary War, British land east of the Mississippi River became part of the United States. In the early 19th century, the U.S. acquired land to the west of the river from France in the Louisiana Purchase. Fort Snelling was built in 1819 by the U.S. Army at the southern edge of present-day Minneapolis, to direct Indian trade away from the British-Canadian traders, and to prevent the Dakota and Ojibwe in the north from fighting each other. The fort attracted traders, settlers and merchants, spurring growth. Agents of the St. Peter's Indian Agency built at the fort enforced U.S. policy of assimilating Native Americans into European American society, asking them to give up hunting for subsistence and to learn to plow for cultivation. The U.S. government pressed the Dakota to sell their land, which was ceded in a succession of treaties. The U.S. reneged on the treaties during the Civil War, resulting in hunger, war, internment, and exile of the Dakota from Minnesota. Outwitting the fort's commandant, Franklin Steele laid his claim on the east bank of St. Anthony Falls, and John H. Stevens built his home on the west bank. Residents had divergent ideas on names for their community. In 1852, the city's first schoolmaster, Charles Hogue, proposed Minneapolis, with a silent H, combining the Dakota word for waterfall, Minnehaha, and the Greek word for city, polis, which became Minneapolis, meaning city of the falls. The Minnesota Territorial Legislature authorized Minneapolis as a town in 1856. On the Mississippi's west bank, Minneapolis incorporated as a city in 1867 and later joined with the East Bank city of St. Anthony. In 1872, Minneapolis developed around the power source of St. Anthony Falls, the highest waterfall on the Mississippi River. Forests in northern Minnesota encouraged a lumber industry, which operated 17 sawmills on power from the waterfall. By 1871, the West River Bank had 23 businesses, including flour mills, woolen mills, iron works, a railroad machine shop, and mills for cotton, paper, sashes, and planing wood. Due to the occupational hazards of milling, 6 competitors manufactured artificial limbs by the 1890s. The farmers of the Great Plains grew grain that was shipped by rail to the city's 34 flour mills. Millers have used hydropower since the 1st century BC. But the results in Minneapolis between 1880 and 1930 were described as the greatest direct drive water power center the world has ever seen. For this half-century, Minneapolis led the world in flour milling, a father of modern milling in America and founder of what became General Mills. Cadwallader C. Washburn revolutionized his business from grist mills to gradual reduction by steel and porcelain roller mills capable of producing premium quality pure white flour very quickly. Some ideas were developed by William Dixon Gray and some say they were acquired through industrial espionage from Hungary by William de la Barre. Charles A. Pillsbury and the C. A. Pillsbury Company across the river were barely a step behind, hiring Washburn EMP.